Welcome everybody and like the stream. Like the stream, everybody. Welcome UGC. Start in a second. Playing Tumani and Sadiki. Artists from Mali. Hey Kiki. Hey Lady Pisces. All right, y'all. Let's see. Virtual hugs to you too, India. I appreciate you. Vanity, good morning. Salkis and UGC. Good morning, Vanity. Good morning, everybody. I hope all is well with you all. Like up the stream, please, to help the channel. Give me a like to help the channel. A like is free. A like is really free. No physical energy needs to be exerted to hit the like button too. So we're gonna get into it today. Hey, SSS. Greetings. For those of you who are not Patreon members, it behooves you to become a member of our Patreon. A lot of the content that used to be available here is being moved to our new home on Patreon on a weekly basis. I have private videos there, as well as audios that I specifically do for that platform. They're not on my website. They're not anywhere else but the Patreon page. So there's content there, both written and oral, that you will not be able to get anywhere else. So make sure that you become a member of our Patreon page. The link should be floating across our screen. And the link should be floating across our screen. So make sure you do that while you're watching me. Go ahead and sign up and become a member. You know, All it takes is a Starbucks coffee to get your information, to get the healing that you need. Let's see here. Rachel says, Salkis, I read 3 of your books yesterday. Fire. Yes. Yes, thank you. Which 3? Do you remember the titles of the ones that you got? For those of you, let me flash that. For those of you who haven't gotten your books yet, go to ugctools.com, or you should be able to see it at the bottom of this screen in the, what do you call it? Merchandise section. You should see 4 of them there. And there's actually 5, but the other one is about sex. So YouTube just blocks anything they feel is salacious, I guess, from showing. So, but you could go to ugctools.com to see all the books, and more content will be added to the merch store later. These are essentials. We talked about possibly doing a book club. We mentioned it yesterday to ask what your idea was. And my recommendation is for you to get my books first. And we can have a discussion on that and then piggyback on other information that you have come across. We can have discussions about other materials that you're reading, but definitely get the books that are hosted here, because they are specifically designed for you, UGC. Finally, you have something just for you, just for you. So get your tools while they are available. Sign up for the Patreon and make sure you become a member of our website too, just in case everything fall apart everywhere else. Our website is our home. It's a home that I control 100%. It's the only place that I control 100%. It's called the uglygirlsclub.com. So make sure you subscribe there too, just so you have different routes to communicate with me and to get the information. So there is that. Hey, Goddess. Goddess is in the house. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Join us on Patreon. It will change your life. Yeah, some of y'all are already in Patreon and you are seeing the benefits of it. So just go ahead and do that. I would love to talk about the UGC books, help solidify it in our minds. Yeah, we need to do that. We need to do that. Is the headline true, Salkis? She's an amazing singer. Yes, apparently the headline is true. We could talk about the headline today, but let me get my introductions out the way. My name is Salkis. I'm the founder and the ambassador of the Ugly Girls Club. This is a platform of women who are divesting from beauty and the emotional control that people like to exert on us because we are attempting to get validation from them through the rating system and the parameters and the rules and regulations of who's beautiful and who's not. Everyone's deciding whether to respect us or not, whether to love us or not, whether to give us things or not, based on this rating system called beauty. And we're assuming that even if they do find us attractive, we're assuming, and that is an assumption, that if they do express their attraction to us, that we should trust them, that we assume that they love us and care about us and have our best interests in mind, which is also untrue. So we're getting scammed, whether you're attractive or not, you're getting scammed out here. People are pretending. People are pretending for us. And I want every woman from every spectrum, from beautiful to unattractive, to understand that this thing called beauty has us assuming things about other people. We assume they're intelligent because they think we're attractive. We assume that they don't have ulterior motives because they think we're attractive. We're assuming in the criticism of us, when they criticize us, that they are better than us. In the act of criticizing us, we assume they're pulling rank and that it's a real rank, when it's not either. So there's really nothing beneficial about accepting the concept of beauty. When you really think about it, there really isn't anything beneficial. Most of the times it's only benefiting the person that we're seeking validation from. It's not benefiting us. Why isn't it benefiting us? Because most of us don't really believe it anyway. Most of us need to confirm that the statement, I'm beautiful, we need a confirmation of that from someone else. So you're not an independent thinker if you think that you're attractive. You are a product of your environment. All of us are. You are who you are based on the feedback loop that you've been getting all your life. People, your environment and your surroundings and society have shaped your personality, have given you a sense of self-worth. This is what happens in society. And this is why most of us are victimized by people. This is why most of us can't really wrap our heads around thinking for ourselves and really evaluating ourselves independent of anybody else, because everything that you are is based on what you've been told that you are. Every single thing. And when you step into this and say, you know what, I'm an ugly girl, this will be the first pivot that you make that doesn't require anybody else's approval. You don't need nobody else's approval to claim this. When I created this coalition, I knew it was hardly anybody that was going to sign on to this, because it sounded crazy as cat shit. I knew it. But I understood that trying to fit into a narrative where people have the power to say, no, you're not it, is never going to bring us the emotional stability and the peace that we're looking for. We're never going to have it. We're never going to have it. We see proof of this all around us. Our lovely sister or daughter, Cori Broadus, expressed this past week that she attempted to leave this earth. She attempted to take her own life because she's been battling with depression, issues of insecurity, growing up and seeing her light-skinned brothers, as she coined them, and everybody in her family, nobody looking like her, and constantly being teased and ridiculed and berated for her skin tone. And then to top it off, the health challenges that she's going through with her lupus, and the medications to try to manage that have caused her to gain weight. So one thing compounding on the other with her in her life had her contemplating a reason to live. And I meet a lot of women, who have contemplated, who are struggling, let's say, to find a reason to live. It is, I don't want to say it's epidemic proportions, but it sort of is. Suicide rates or attempted suicide rates are through the roof now. And when I look at somebody like Cori, this woman is talented. She comes from an affluent family, a celebrity family. And the points that she made discussing her trials and tribulations was that don't think because a person has money that everything's okay, that they don't suffer with emotional issues, with self-esteem issues, with trying to find their purpose and all of that stuff. Don't think that just because there's fame there, that there isn't self-deprecation there and wondering what your value is and all of that. What have I told you, UGC, about status? What have I told you about status? Let me see who's listening. What have I told you about status? Her lupus is probably from the stress, from emotional issues. Yeah, I would say so. And lupus is something diet plays a large part of it. Carbs are not your friend. Carbs ain't really nobody's friend, truth be told. So the diet really has to be on point to avoid the flare-ups and, to get everything under control. Let's see, Rachel says status is an illusion. That's right. That's right. So Rachel is listening. I have always said on this channel that status is an illusion. So when we're talking and having discussions about high value people, who high value men in particular, I want you to understand that there is no such thing. There really isn't any such thing. Just because you have a few more zeros in your bank account doesn't mean that you're not struggling with self-worth, self-esteem, identity issues, feeling purposeful, health. But people with money have the same worries and insecurities as people without. The only difference is that the one worry they don't have is how to pay a bill. But when you reach a certain point where you have money, you're afraid of losing it. You still have a self-esteem issues in that, was this all luck? Was this my ability? Was this my intelligence? Or did I just get lucky to have all this money? So don't think that wealthy people aren't questioning their value too. Nobody is better than you. And I'm trying to find, maybe I need to say it in Spanish. I need to find somebody to teach me these words in Spanish or Greek or something like that, so that we can understand that really nobody is better than you. So when these people come and, Cori says she was teased relentlessly. Throughout her life, people bashed her for her skin tone. I know what that is like. I know what that is like. And I bet it was Black people. I bet it was her own. So with all the status that she had, her father connected to, I don't know, gangbangers and, I'm assuming thugs. People who come see you in the middle of the night, or maybe that's just Hollywood. I don't know. Even with all of that, they still wanted to beat her down. They still wanted to beat her self-esteem down. And we got to ask ourselves, why? Why would people be so invested in beating down dark-skinned women? What is it about us that we are easy target and a punching bag for any piece of shit, whoever it is out here, to take out their frustrations on? We're an easy mark. And the truth is, these people who have all this stuff to say about us, they're not feeling any better about themselves. They don't feel any better about themselves. They don't feel confident and secure. Confident and secure people ain't got time to waste. Confident and secure people, listen, you gotta pay them to ask their opinion. You have to pay them to get their opinion. Either a dinner or some sort of favor. Confident people who really have value, are not even giving out their opinion for free. But motherfuckers who ain't got shit, who ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, always got an opinion about you and your worth. They always got an evaluation and unsolicited critiques about your value. People with nothing usually do. People with nothing usually do. That's what it is. So you have to be brave, dark-skinned girl. You have to be brave. I would say fearless, but fear exists. I prefer bravery rather than fearless. You have to understand that everyone is full of shit and people are about their bottom lines. You have to understand that people are extracting your usefulness. And more times than not, when you're a dark-skinned girl, they don't want to reciprocate. She had mentioned, how her boyfriend, I believe he's not on the same income bracket. I think he doesn't have much money, but she says that he supports her emotionally. If she was my daughter, I would say be careful with that. If she was mine, and my girls know, I would tell her to be careful with that. Because the ones who usually hurt you the most are the ones who know you the most. The ones who have intimate access to you are the ones who can pull your strings. So, Cori, you have to be careful. I understand that you need your support system. I don't know what's going on, how your relationship is with your mother and your father. But to list your boyfriend in a lineup of a support system is concerning to me, because he's a boyfriend who crashed up your car, and I think from what I read, that kind of sent her over the edge too. This car had sentimental value, and the boyfriend who couldn't pay the bill, who couldn't buy her a car, who probably couldn't pay the car note, crashed up her car. So you got to be careful when we're dealing with men and we're looking to them for emotional support, because men's love is very conditional. It's very conditional. Now, I'm just going to lay it out straight, no chaser, like I always do. Some of us assume that because we have what we perceive as flaws, and that we get with people who we perceive as understanding our flaws, that somehow we're in an unconditional relationship. Unconditional relationships with men do not exist. He's either with you because you're pretty. He's either with you because you have money. He's either with you because he likes your sexual prowess. He's with you because you're opening doors or whatever. You're getting him into places where he wouldn't otherwise be able to get into. So you're a connection for him. There is nobody more clout chasing than a man, where you're concerned. Nobody. Like nobody. And that's really what it is. So be really careful when you're looking to someone you are romantically involved with for emotional support. That can get real dicey. That can get real dicey. I advise all women that if you're going through emotional things, if you are going through instability and just you're scared, fearful, and you're having a tough time emotionally, let your man be the last person to know. Your man should be the last person, if he knows at all. He should be the last person to know. Thank you, Kiana, for your donation. I appreciate you, babe. He should be the last person to know, and Lord have mercy, if he's a boyfriend, he shouldn't really know anything. Even if it's your husband, you gotta run what you're going through a filter with them. If it's a boyfriend, he shouldn't know any of that. You need to find somebody that you can sit with, whether you as a paid professional or your grandmother. Whether it's a paid professional or your grandmother. Grandmothers help you work things out. Grandmothers put everything, when they're good grandmothers, they put everything into perspective. So if you don't want to seek a professional and you got a good grandma, talk to her. You don't sit across from her, you sit at her feet. You sit at her feet and you rub her swollen ankles, sap it with some rum. That's what I used to do with my grandmother. Get the rum. And I used to sap her foot because, rum helped with the circulation, that island thing. So I used to sap her feet with rum and ask her questions when I needed clarity on things. Put men into a compartment in your life. They don't need to have access to every part of your life. And you do this to maintain emotional stability. This is why you do it. Not to be deceitful, not to be vindictive, not even to be dishonest. It has nothing to do with any of that. At the end of the day, it's self-preservation. It's self-preservation. I don't understand why dark-skinned girls are the punching bag for Black people. When we talk about Black Lives Matter, I know it's bullshit because it doesn't show up on a day-to-day basis. It doesn't show up in our relationships with people. It doesn't show up in business. It doesn't show up in our friendships. It doesn't show up in our family units. Talk to me. It doesn't show up there. Some of us, not even with our own mothers, it doesn't show up there. Black Lives Matter, where? Where? So we have that. I've been a content creator for a while now. I've been self-employed for most of my adult life. And I can't think of a time where I didn't feel like my intelligence and my value wasn't challenged. I just can't think of a time. Even now, I've created an environment where I'm helping women. And even in helping women, they go, well, I don't know if I should believe her because, you know, she is that. A lot of you buy products here that you don't read. You'll buy stuff here just because you don't want to feel like you're missing out. Not that you really care about anything that I say. Not that anything that I say is even resonating with you. You just want to be a part of something to keep your eye on me. Some of y'all watch just to keep an eye on me. Not that anything I'm saying you really feel like it's valuable to you. You think I don't know? Hello? All I do is think all day. All I do is watch people all day long. I listen to what you say and what you don't say. So I understand what I'm dealing with. And you as a dark-skinned girl, this is what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to do a lot of legwork. You're going to have to do a lot of quiet observations with people so that you're not feeling helpless, so that you're not feeling valueless. Because the helpless feeling and the valueless feeling that you feel is them indoctrinating you with it. The little underhanded remarks, the sarcasm. And you know what confuses us is that we could be in the midst of helping. They could need our help and still question our value. How about that? They could need our help and still say, well, you know, I don't know about you. Then why are you here? Why are you here? If you don't know about my value, why are you here with your hand out? Why are you here with your fucking zipper down? Why are you pulling down your pants and questioning my value? Why are we doing this? Why do you want to fuck me and you don't think that I'm worth XYZ? Where's the logic in that? But people are doing this to us all day long. People are doing this to us all day long, to the point where we like, I don't think I want to be here anymore. Their opinions of you are not worth your life. I've said this before. Their opinions of you are not worth your life. So when you're contemplating leaving here because someone doesn't like you or someone doesn't think you're pretty, you have to ask yourself, was I born for this person to want to fuck me? The sum total of my whole life is based on this person's opinion of whether I'm fuckable or not, whether I'm pretty enough for this or that. The sum total of my existence, this is what God made me for. So this person can say, kill yourself. What are we doing? What are we doing? I understand it. I tell my UGC girls all the time that people are full of shit. People are full of shit. They have their own agendas. Even when you are helping them, even when you are being humble, even when you are bending over backwards, even when you are sacrificing for them, they'll say something is fucking wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. So dark-skinned girls like Cori need to know that people are full of shit. Cori understands the feloniousness of status. She basically stated this. She has let young people in her age bracket understand and know that status is not a real thing. It is smoke and mirrors. It is. Now she has to understand that for her detractors too. Now she has to understand that for those who have berated her, that what they're saying to her is also a nothing burger. Like Tariq Nasheed, our lovely brother, always says. It's a whole word salad. Illusions. They don't want to give a shit. Nobody doesn't want to give a shit. And the closer you are to people, the less they want to give. We're assuming the opposite of that. This is why I say be careful of your boyfriend. Because a boyfriend he hasn't vowed to be in your life forever until he's signing paperwork at the justice of the peace. And that's all lip service too. That's a sometimey, real conditional, I'm a free agent, I'm a wait and see, or whatever it is. Cori, if she gets a hold of this video, listen, a boyfriend being a girlfriend is what? UGC? I'm not going to finish it because y'all know what it is. Being a girlfriend is what? So we put these things into perspective. Nobody wants to be fair to anybody. If we were all naturally wired for fairness, there wouldn't be as much heartache and pain, misuse and abuse as there is right now. But people are wired for self-interest. People are wired to get what it is they want first. Unfortunately, that's what it is. Yeah, y'all got it. Come through with it. Come through with it, UGC. We understand that it is a nothing burger. It sure is. Why do we care so much about people who do not care about us? The reason why we care about people who don't care about us is because we feel that they are better than us. What gives us the impression that another woman, let's say, is better than you? What's giving you this impression? Her conceit, more times than not, gives you the impression that she likes herself. And just because someone is conceited doesn't mean they're not insecure. Just because someone is narcissistic does not mean they're not insecure. Narcissism is steeped and soaking in a shitload of insecurity. People who need praise. What do you think that is? Thank you, Kiki. I appreciate your generosity and your energy and your love, babe. I appreciate it. So what do you think it is? Everybody's hiding their hand. Everybody's interested. They want to establish rank when they meet you. Especially with us dark-skinned girls. Everybody is interested in outranking us. And like I said before, I don't really remember a time. There's never been a time where my intelligence hasn't been called a question. Everybody thinks or thought that I was a little stupid. And at one time I thought that too. I heard it so much, or I sensed it so much, or I felt it so much that I'm like, well, I must not be the sharpest knife in the drawer. Because why am I getting this from everywhere? So I understand the power of the mob. I understand the power of the mob called society. I understand it. I understand it now. But back then I was like, okay, well, maybe I got to be nicer. Maybe they're treating me like this because I'm a bad person. And I got to figure out why I'm such a bad person. Right? Because they got to be teasing me, calling me out my name, saying that I'm a monkey, I'm, whatever it is they used to say, all kind of animals. They're saying this because they see evil in me. So I got to figure out where is this coming from so that I can fix it, because I don't want to be a bad person. I want to be a good person like the people who criticize me. Talk to me. I wanted to be a good person like the people who berated me and made me feel insecure. How's that for logic? What do I need to do? What do I need to improve upon so that they'll stop hurting me? There's got to be something wrong with me. That's what Cori felt when she contemplated taking her life. I know what it is. I know what it is. But I came to some conclusions when I started really becoming aware of people and realizing that there was nothing that I could do to win their respect, their love, their admiration, their protection. I started realizing when I was bending over backwards, when I was doing everything that was asked of me, when they asked for $5 and I gave them 20 instead, thinking they're really gonna appreciate me, and realized that I was getting the same fucking results. When I realized that I was getting the same fucking results from bending over as I was when I wasn't bending over, I said, oh, okay, so this has nothing to do with logic. What they're telling me about me has nothing to do with an actual accurate assessment. This is all just feelings. This is all just feelings here. They just feel this way. And they're just going to feel whatever it is they're going to feel. And that's the conclusion you women, you ladies, young and old, have to come to in your life. When you're afraid to make a move, when you're afraid of what people will think of you if you say no, when you're afraid to back away from a deal or an offer or a relationship because you don't want that person to see you as a bad person, the way that I was concerned about it once upon a time, understand that there's nothing you can do to please people who don't care about you. There is nothing you can do to please people who do not inherently care about you. How do people assess whether they care about you or not? That happens maybe in the first 30 seconds, especially with men, especially with them. We're thinking it's a process of, well, you get to know me and then you respect me. Have y'all experienced that? Well, they just need to get to know me and then they'll respect me. Have you experienced that? Has your relationship with someone who came in as your detractor improved once they got to know you? Talk to me. Usually what happens is that we give them enough information to put the last nail in the coffin. That's usually what happens. They put the last nail in the coffin with the information that you provide. Where does the respect come in? Oh, I know her now I adore her. We don't work like that. We don't work like that. Everybody's looking at the surface. Everybody's looking at the surface. All of us have had friends who were not good friends. But she's cute. You look good hanging with her. You feel like you got status, so you put up with her insults. You put up with their inconsistencies because they look a little better than you, and you feel encouraged being around them. So you maintain friendships that have absolutely no value. Absolutely no value because, associations. People will think highly of me if I'm standing next to her. Some of y'all have friendships built on that. A lot of us as women have friendships built on how the other girl looks. So this isn't a phenomenon just about what men think and the shallowness of men, because we are just as shallow as they are. We are just as shallow as they are. Very few, if any of us, have ever met somebody who, a friend at least, who rocks with us unconditionally. Very few. Very few. I tell my daughters that they don't have any friends. Now, what they do with that is what they do with it. But on my watch, everyone has gotten the PSA. Everyone has gotten the memo. You don't have any friends. And you have to start telling your daughters the truth. Stop encouraging them. They don't need encouragement. They need the truth. Why do our daughters need the truth over encouragement? Because their naivety gives them encouragement anyway. Being naive is really a matter of you seeing things in rose-colored glasses as it is. Not being naive does that. Being naive takes care of all of that encouragement trope. Right? Your daughter doesn't need encouragement. She needs the predator to be activated in her. Why does she need the predator to be activated in her? So that she knows when people are lying to her, so that she knows when she should run. Our daughters need to get out of naivety as fast as possible. And your encouragement only makes it linger longer than it needs to. Well, not everybody's like that. Okay, not everybody's like that. But more people than not are. And the probability of your daughter running into people who are that, as opposed to the exception to the rule, what are the odds on that? So you have to prepare her. I tell my daughters all the time, people are going to see you as unattractive. You have to deal with that. You have to prepare for people who will lie to you to create friendships with you, to gain access to what you have, to use you and dump you away. You need to let your girls know. Tell them, especially if they're dark skinned, tell them. And this is not for her to feel self-conscious and bad about herself. It is so she activates intelligence and lets go of naivety. She has to let go of that quick so that she can defend herself against people who say, you should kill yourself. You're nothing. You're nothing because you're not pretty. Tell your daughters that they are more than what they look like. So they're not falling apart when people say that they're unattractive. Tell them. Your daughter's goal is not to be beautiful, because beauty is subjective. We all know that. Beauty is what? In the eyes of the beholder. So that means that beauty, for me, really don't hold no power. The power of beauty is in the person saying that I'm beautiful, not me. If beauty is in the eye of the beholder, then they are coming with my value. They're coming with my value and the evaluation of my worth in a suitcase. They're coming with the evaluation of my value as paperwork for me to sign. That's what that is. Thank you, India. I wish someone told me this, Salkis, when I was 5 years old. Listen, you know it now. And if you have daughters or will have daughters in the future, you can let them know. You can let them know so that our babies are not feeling like they need to check out. One thing that Cori has said that I think I read was that she would often go on social media, I guess like Instagram, and look at other girls and just feel inadequate. Y'all have to be careful with social media too, because it affects adults as well as children. This peer pressure is just not a teenage thing. Peer pressure is lifelong. Instagram is nothing but a cesspool of insecurities, of look at me, narcissism, and filters. That's what Instagram is. Narcissism and filters. Like nothing is real. Nothing is real. And our girls are absorbing all of this, all the TikTok stuff, and and that train ain't stopping. I'm not even gonna say the train can even stop, but you must talk to your girls. Maybe you need to talk to yourself about your value, because our girls think that we really think we're competing with everybody out here. And the only people you're competing with, only person that you're competing with is yourself. It really is yourself at the end of the day. It is you and your reflection bouncing back on you. That's who you're dealing with. I understand the message that men are visual. We hear this all the time, and that puts pressure on us too, right? We understand that we got to look a certain way, or we're not going to get chose out here. So we're scrambling and we're scurrying and we're trying to do things. We're doing extreme things, and not so extreme things to try to position ourselves to be seen. All of us think like, woohoo, see me. We want to be seen. We want to be acknowledged. What is the acknowledgement worth at the end of the day? How many men that you have slept with that said you were beautiful actually showed that they cared about you? Like you felt that this person would fall on a sword for you. He'd get in front of a bullet for you. Like he makes sure, like he'd give you his last. If you were hungry, here you go. You asked for 10, he'd give you 50. Like that kind of thing. How many of these men who have expressed being attracted to your body actually liked you? How many of them actually even liked you? We're not even talking about love now. I'm talking about actually even liked you. And if they did like you, how long after you had sex with them was the energy of like maintained? How many? Well, most of us is not, maybe one or two, maybe. And if there was one, why you're not with him? That's the next question. If he was really the one to fall on the sword for you, y'all should be having 10 babies or something right about now. Why isn't he in your life? Something happened. Something happened. Everything you're going to experience with people is based on condition. Unconditional love, if that even is possible, is a love that you really have for yourself. It's a love that you really have for yourself. So there's that. Let's see what you're talking about here. Because of my insecurity and self-sabotaging ways, not his fault. Oh, you're saying your relationship ended because you sabotaged it. Gotcha. There's a reason why you did. Let's see. DP says mine went to jail. Oh, all right. So that relationship ended because he went to jail. Got it. Let's see. I can't stand it. It has pros, but I really don't like social media. Social media is a death trap. Social media is definitely a death trap. It is useful. Thank you, Kiki, dropping it on me today. Thank you, Kiona. I appreciate you. Let's see here. Divorce mine, he wouldn't fall on a sword and fix his issues from childhood. Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that. Okay, so Alvilis says self-sabotaging ways because I felt I wasn't worth it. Yeah, a lot of us, we have situations that are ideal, and then it's a self-worth question. It really, everything leads back to that. Relationships that ain't shit, and relationships that get messed up, always all fingers point back to how we feel about ourselves. You can't run from you. That's the point. You really can't run from you. I know we try. We try to water ourselves down and we try to distract ourselves with relationships. A lot of these relationships that we're getting into with men are just distractions. We seek distractions from how we feel about ourselves. So we use people, and I've said this all the time on this channel, that we use people as pacifiers, that we really don't care about them. We care about how they make us feel. And that really is the sum total of most of these relationships. You cannot run from yourself because everywhere you go, there you are. There you go. There it is. That's the hardest part, is looking at ourselves. Yeah. And that's the part where your breakthrough comes from. It doesn't come from people affirming your beauty. A lot of people that come to this channel, change the word ugly. If I get what you're saying, but words have energy. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. get out of here with that. How about that for energy? Shut the fuck up. Words have energy. Words don't have as much energy as laying down on your back for somebody that you're trying to make it work with, that don't want you. And a lot of us are doing that to prove our value, to prove our loyalty, to prove our worth. We maintain friendships and sexual relationships with people who don't give a shit. Ain't nothing more energetically toxic than that. Nothing. And that's happening all day long and twice on Sunday. Well, Salkis, just change the word. No, there's power in the word. Power in the word. Pendants are on their way. I have my designer. I just approved the last proof on it. So you will be, those who want to rep Ugly Girl and wear it and have a conversation with people about why you're wearing it, you're going to have something real nice to adorn yourself with, to remind you that you are building a fence and a hedge around you that people can't penetrate. We're not allowing people to just come through with their compliments and their flattery and hide in their hands for us no more. This to remind you what brass tacks is. What is the brass tacks? What is the main idea? What is my motivation? Why am I with you? We always want to know why they with us. Does he love me? Does he want me? The question to ask was why you are with him. Why do you want him? That's the real question to ask. That's the real question to ask. Listen, y'all, I've been at this a long time. And I have a perspective on a professional level and a personal level. And I realized that both of them are the same. People are the same whether you're dealing with them professionally or personally. There really is no difference. You have to establish self-respect. You have to establish boundaries. You have to establish that your needs are extremely important to you, whether it's business or pleasure. And everybody's coming with, let's compromise here. I know you want 5, but I got 350 for you. I know you say you're worth 5, and trust me, I believe you're worth 5. But I got $2 right here. $2 hard cash right here for you right now. This is what people are doing to us. Lowballing us, having us negotiate for less. How many people in your life have given you what you wanted without you asking for it, without you demanding it? How many? Most of us, you have to literally ask, literally demand, literally give ultimatums just to get baseline. I'm not even talking about extra. Who has given you what you haven't asked for first? Black girl. Who has given you what you haven't required? Dark-skinned girl. Who? Even their compliments, even the compliments they give, come with all this other stuff that they expect you to do in return for the compliment. The compliment they give ain't even free. The compliment and flattery people give you is not free. Check it. That's not free. Because once they give it to you, they expect you to perform and act in appreciation for the flattery they give you. Now open your legs. Well, I think you're beautiful, so, open your knees. Or open your asshole, open your mouth. Open some hole. That's usually what it is. Now you're indebted to someone who gives you a compliment. Because why? Because they feel that giving it to you is charity. Because why? Because they really don't think that way about you. Talk to me. Because they really don't think that way about you. They come on this channel all the time. Well, Salkis, I think you're pretty. I'm like, well, I get it, but that's not the point. Well, I get it, but it seemed like you can't accept the compliment, and all I was doing was trying to tell you what you couldn't see in yourself. Like, huffy and puffy with me. This is the Ugly Girls Club. Check the banner. Check the banner. They feel insulted. When I'm like, oh, that's fine, but that's not the reason why we're here. That's how you know the compliments are disingenuous. Because they really feel like they've given you, I'm affirming you. Why aren't you taking it? I've gifted you with affirmations, and you're spitting in my face. So the only reason why you're complimenting me is to feel charitable and to feel good about you. And you want me to trust you. That's really all the goal is. I'm putting y'all up on game here. And whether you take it or not, it is what it is. Because I know it's only 20% that roll with this thing anyway. Maybe less than that. Maybe probably more than likely less than that. Maybe it's 5%. It is what it is. It really is what it is. So we're trying to make some elbow room to let people know, listen, we are entitled to live. We are entitled to our lives. We're entitled to want what it is that we want. And the qualifier can't be looks. Y'all, ladies, your qualifier can't be in how you look. I know people want to make the qualifier how you look, but for you can put on and dress up and wear the makeup and whatever it is. Put on the costume, because we all need the persona or the personality or the representative. for people. Otherwise, they'll walk all over us. So every one of us needs a representative. I'm not saying that you don't. But but you need to know that there is a representative instead of actually you. I'm representing something so that you respond in a particular way. I'm representing something because that's the only way that I can get you to cooperate. So I know you ain't really in it for, for my intrinsic value. You're in it for the show. People are in it, people are with you for the show. That's what it is. So always keep that in your mind when you're scared to disappoint people, when you're afraid to say no to them, when you're afraid to do something odd or do something that, you're the first one in your family to have ever done it, or first one of your friends to ever do it, or whatever it is. When you're hesitant about all that, understand that people only like the representative that's you anyway. They don't like you. Who really likes you? Talk to me. Who really likes you? When you've shown people exactly what you are, how did they act? Did they hold you close? Did they get the guns to protect you? When you really showed who you are without a filter, how did people respond to that? I'll tell you right now, they never respond well. They never do. This is why women learn how to scam men, how to hide their money, how to dress and how to talk and how to act feminine, and whatever template that the femininity thing falls into. And then these fucking men have the nerve to complain about she's not real when you don't respond. When she's telling you that I love you, what do you niggas do? When she says, you know what, I love you no matter what, how do you respond to that? When she doesn't have a filter, when she puts her feelings, wears her feelings on her sleeve, do you protect her? No, you don't. You go, oh, she'll be there. That's what men do. Oh, she's not going anywhere. When you wear your heart on your sleeve, that's when people disregard you. You think women don't know this? You guys are not attracted to authenticity and real pure emotion. You're attracted to pain and anxiety and not knowing whether she really likes you or not. That's what gets erections around here. Hello? That's what gets you hard and all confluffled and chasing her down. The conquest. Then when you finally catch her, you sit her down, you bench her. Chasing, running after her. And then when you finally grab her by the collar and you get her and you lay her down and you pound out her cervix, you bench her. All right, you sit right there. Let me go handle this across town. So what people say they want, UGC, is a lie. It's always a lie. It's always a lie. When people say what they think of you, it's through a filter of how they feel about themselves. That too. This whole world is an illusion. The whole thing. From what is on your plate for breakfast this morning, them waffles, to who's calling you on the phone tonight, talking about how they care about you and miss you, everything. Everything's an illusion. You pretty girls ain't faring no better. A lot of y'all getting y'all getting exploited more than the rest of us. You with somebody who contemplating putting you on a host role and you don't even know it. He wondering how much his friends will pay to get a shot at you because funds are low. He's trying to see how he can make money off of you. Pretty women are exploited all the time. You're not seen as a whole human being. He doesn't want to discuss with you about, the books you like to read, or, the talents and skills you have, because you're there because of your prettiness. You're just there to look good. I don't need your intellectual thesis on anything. That ain't what I need for you to sit on my face. That's what I hired you for. Talk to me. That's what I hired you for. Why do you think you're here? And y'all think pretty women have it better than you? Really? Illusions. Illusion. Biases exist. They always have, and they always will. And it is not about your life purpose is not about trying to get people not to think a certain way. It's really not about that. Your purpose is to create a life where you're being what you want. And then because you're in the midst of doing and being and whatever it is that you want, you attract people who are in alignment with that. You attract people who are in alignment with you being what it is you want to be. Otherwise, it's hell. Otherwise, it's really hell. And people come on this channel and they talk about my nose ring. The men in particular call it a bull ring. She'll look all right if she gets rid of that bull ring. And that's why I'm not getting rid of it. Because everyone's offering conformity. Everyone's offering you, UGC, the opportunity to conform. That's all they have for you. They don't really care about you. The goal for many people is to just feel comfortable around you. And the way that they do this is inviting you to conform. That's it. You should wear this, or you should change your hair, or you should act like this, or you should go this place. Everybody wants to put you in a category by telling you what to do. When they're uncomfortable with you, they suggest what you need to be. They give you suggestions on what you need to be, so that it creates a comfort level for them. It ain't about you. It ain't about you. I've told y'all before on this channel, if you've had sex with 10 men, 9 of them didn't even like you. And I'm being generous with the one that I left out. Just because I don't want to say all. I just don't want to say all. But for a lot of us, it's all. We try to win people's hearts and respect by sacrificing ourselves. How did that work out? How did that work out? These men complain about fairness. And you've been more than fair. I talk to you. I am you. You've been more than fair. What was the end result? You've been transparent. You say, you know what? I'm not going to play any games anymore. I'm done playing games. I'm just going to put it out, put all my cards on the table. Ain't that what you said? I'm going to put all my cards on the table, and I'm just going to let things flow. I'm not even going to impose my will upon anything. I'm not going to have expectations. Ain't that what some of us have done? I know I've done it. Put the expectations on the side. Because maybe it is the expectations that are turning people off. So I put my expectations on the side. I put my desires on the side. I put all my agenda and everything on the side. I said, you know what? I don't want this person to feel intimidated. I don't want them to feel like I'm using them. I don't want them to feel like I have some sort of ulterior motive and agenda. I don't want them to think that that there's a possibility that I could be unfair. Didn't we do that? How did that work out? How did that work out? Talk to me. This is why I created this coalition. This is why I created this platform. And I've given y'all information. I have years of content. I have thousands of hours of free content at that, free. Trying to get y'all to understand, as the underdog that I am, that you don't have to feel what it is you're feeling. You don't have to have the summary of what your life means be what anybody says that it means. That you get to write your story. That you really get to call the shots and do everything that you want to do. There's really nothing stopping you. Really nothing stopping you but your own pain and your own shame. A lot of us have been abused physically, mentally, emotionally. So we have that to deal with, right? And somehow in the back of our minds, we're saying to ourselves, for this person to abuse me, I must have been useless. I must have no value for this. How could this person think it would be okay to abuse me? For them to think that it was okay to do what they did to me, I must be worthless, is what a lot of us are saying. I must be worthless. If you could do this to me, I must have deserved this. For you to do this to me. Lies. Lies. The people who tell you that you are nothing are no better than you. More times than not, they are afraid and they're preoccupied with asserting authority because they don't feel that they have any. They really don't feel that they have any. Why else would someone want to hurt you for no reason? Why else? We have very evil people in this world. How do we navigate around that? That would be the question. How do you deal with, because evil people are everywhere. Everywhere. How do you manage that? You manage it by assessing the lessons that these evil people have taught you. A lot of y'all are proficient in usury because you've been used your entire life. You are proficient. You have a PhD in manipulation now that you're not using. PhD. People who have manipulated you and conned you have shown you that it's not about being a good person. The good person doesn't win. Slow and steady doesn't necessarily win the race. These are what these manipulators have taught us. These are what these people who call us nothing have taught us. They have taught us that life is not fair. It's not fair. So when these motherfuckers come in your face talking about, I need to get to know you first. Bullshit. Bullshit. They don't need to get to know you first. They want to feel what they want to feel. They don't need facts. They need feelings. That's what people drive. That's the drivers. Feelings. And this is what I'm trying to get you to understand. When you feel you need to make the first step. When you feel you need to be above board and transparent. When you need to exercise compromise and unconditional love first. When these motherfuckers tell you that you got to do it first, understand that it's bullshit. Always. Why is everybody falling in love with somebody who doesn't want them if everyone values the truth? Why? Nobody values the truth. Nobody. And that's what all of you know. That's what every dark-skinned woman knows, that nobody values the truth. Nobody. Everyone wants to take. And if they can get it for free, that is their first goal, is to get you for free, to make you a fucking mule. Fair? Where is that? Where is that? Thank you, Kiona. I appreciate you, babe. You're blessing me today. These are the things that I'm trying to get y'all to understand. Life is an illusion, and it's a chess game. When I write these books, do these videos and audios and all of these things, I'm trying to tap into something inside of us. I'm trying to get you to get over your desperation and your feeling of helplessness. I'm trying to get you to see that you don't have to feel bad about yourself. Everybody wants you to feel bad about yourself. But if you were on fire, they wouldn't piss on you. How can a person who wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire make you feel bad about you? You can't count on them. They're not there. They're not there, and they're telling you they won't be there. And somehow they can say, you shouldn't be alive. Somehow they can make you think that you should no longer be breathing. Somebody that wouldn't give you a glass of water if you were dying of thirst can tell you that you're average at best, that you should fuck a man on the third date because the only thing you're qualified to be now is a cum dumpster. Because your children are seen as a mistake and failures in your life. Your children, human beings. Men evaluate your children as your mistake. And they could tell you what you're worth. You're loving. You want to love somebody. And they can look you in the eye and say, you're not qualified for my love. You don't look good enough to qualify for my love. Think about that. Think about that. I do this work so that you can feel a little less intimidated. I promise you, it gets easier when you start thinking things through. It gets easier. It does. When you start seeing people for who they actually are, not what you want them to be, not what you hope they will be for you, not what you pray at night that God will turn their minds around. Not any of that, but just who they are. You'll start to see how much of a game all of this stuff is. I don't care if it's your mother. Some of you were not wanted by your own mothers, and you have to live with that. And in the back of your mind, you're like, I have to try real hard to feel self-worth because my own mother didn't want me. And you carry that with you. But children come through you. Your children don't belong to you. You came through your mother. Your mother was just the vehicle to bring you here. And if she didn't want you, so be it. So be it. You'll do a better job with your own children, is what you should be saying. You'll show people, you'll show a child what it's like to feel nurtured and loved. You're going to make sure that your mission, if you become a parent, is to not be like the mother who didn't want you. Otherwise, what else are you going to do? What else are you going to do? Are you going to take that rejection that your mother had for you and say, you know what, this is the sum total of who I am? This is the sum total of who I am? From the moment that doctor clipped that umbilical cord, you became an individual. You became an individual. Why do babies need to be held? Why do babies not do well sleeping alone in the crib? Babies are crying for you to hold them because they realize they're alone. They sense and aware that they're detached from you. So they need you to swaddle them. They need to feel one with you again. They need to go back home, go back into your room. That's why you got to hold them. That baby knows that they're alone. I try to impart so many things on y'all because I don't want any of you to waste time and waste your lives waiting on some sort of utopia. Waiting on, I don't know, are we in the age of Aquarius now? What are we in now? I don't fucking know. Waiting on some sort of earth shift, and all of a sudden there won't be evil in the world anymore, and people will love one another and all that kind of stuff. A lot of us are waiting on that. We're waiting on Calvary. It's not coming. Look around you. It's not coming. I don't know when heaven on earth will get here. But right about now, it could, come on, God. Right about now would be nice. Right about now would be great. But we have to put everything into perspective here because evil is allowed to exist. And since evil is allowed to exist, that should tell you that you also are being allowed. You're allowed to be who you are too. Evil is allowed to be. There are babies being killed as we speak. Where's God? Where's retribution? Where's that karma that a lot of y'all talk about? There's a child being trafficked right now. There's someone that has suffered a heart attack due to some medication that was approved by the FDA right now. And they are saying that the percentage of deaths, as long as the percentage of deaths stays under 20% or whatever, we will approve this drug. But it's your father who died of a heart attack because of something in the drug that is legal for you to take. Where the fuck is fairness at? Where? These motherfuckers come on my channel talking about I'm not feminine enough. I'm aggressive and I'm not feminine enough. When I'm more of a mother to them than their own fucking mothers have been. When I'm more of a mother, a sister, and for some of them, even a wife, than anything they've experienced. Packaging. That's all we're concerned about. There's no utopia. You have to have your boundaries. You have to know what you want. You have to know why you're doing it. And I'm talking about dark-skinned girls, light-skinned girls, caramel girls, pink girls, green girls, and everybody else. Everybody else. There was someone who made a comment on my page when I did the slideshow. There was some light-skinned girls in there. She arguing back and forth with me about the standard of beauty and how the light-skinned girls in there will always be the standard of beauty over dark-skinned girls, and they shouldn't be in the lineup and all of that. And I'm like, okay, so it's only dark-skinned girls who qualify, who fit the narrative of unattractive. So what you're saying is you saw yourself in the lineup and now you're offended. Everyone feels sorry for you when they're not included in what's being said. Let me repeat that. For those of you who watch the Manosphere channel and watch people talk about what you're not qualified to have, and watch the women who support them, are usually women who don't fit what the parameters are, what the description is for those who constitute, who fit in the word ugly. So what you'll get from those women is pity. I don't know why why we can't all get along. Everybody's just beautiful in their own way. If you think that's a fucking compliment, everybody's beautiful in their own way. That condescending shit. So the people that are supporting you, they're pretending that they're supporting you. But what you're really getting is pity. And you always get their pity as long as you're not describing them. As long as you're not including them, then what you're doing, I get what you're doing, and I applaud you. But add them in. Well, now, how do we define ugly? We need some clear parameters here. We need, it's just speculative. It's subjective, and you can't really say for sure. Now they want to get technical when they see themselves in it. It's bullshit. This is why we divest from beauty here. This is why. Because it's all bullshit. So there's that, UGC. There is not an hour of the day that I'm not thinking about y'all. Some of you I know, some of you, I don't know. But in general, there's not an hour, really not a minute, that goes by that I'm not thinking about how do I encourage you? How do I help you see things? I want you to see things for yourself. You ain't got to see it through my lens. This ain't no dictatorship. This is a coalition. How do I just get you to just tap into your own godness, your own goddessness? That's what I be asking myself. That's what I ask myself. That's what I'm obsessed with. Why? Because I was 16 once. I was 18 once and 22. And I'm not that anymore. And I understand how time just, it creeps up and then it bypasses you. And how much of the shit that we waste, how much the talents and skills that we waste sitting dormant because we scared to show people that we conceited. I have no issue with nothing that I can do. And I show it all. I show it all. I'm an artist. That painting back here is one that I did. iloveherart.com is my site. And when I started painting, people were like, well, you know, it's cute. Or it's interesting, which is a neutral term, and it doesn't mean that people like it. So I got a lot of, oh, it's interesting, you know, that kind of condescending shit. And people had their criticisms. A lot of people felt, you know, there are people better than you. There's always going to be people better than you, though. Always. So you don't stop what you're doing in an attempt to be better than everybody. How does that work? Because you're not. You're not. So in order for you to really step into full dark goddess, you'll have to adopt some traits that you've been told are not good. These are things that we discuss in the catacombs. You really have to adopt and face things that you actually hate in other people. You might have to be those things yourself just to get these evil people off your back. You have to be a goblin. What did Lil Wayne say in his rap song, which is one of our taglines too? What's a goon to a goblin? You'll have to be that. What's a goon to a goblin? That's what it is. Your life is your playground. This is your playground. To do what thou wilt is the whole of the law. That's what it is. What does that mean? What's a goon to a goblin? Meaning they're on this, they're both monsters. If this person's a goon and I'm a goblin, I'm not afraid of them. That's what it means. You could be a goon, but I'm a goblin, so let's rock. That's the analogy there. That's the analogy. I, in my conceit, confident, bitchy women, I always have. They always get their way. Pretty much. Pretty much. So y'all, that's what I have for you today. You know, let's all put out positive energy for Cori, for Snoop Dogg's daughter, in her recovery, and I'm hoping that she gets all the support, real support, long-lasting support that she needs. Her and every dark-skinned girl and every woman that's been ousted and outcast. Everyone. I want us to win. I want us to own our lives. Like own it. And that is my wish for her and everybody else. All right, UGC. So those of you again who are not Patreon members, go on and sign up. It's beautiful over there. It is really beautiful over there. You get a lot of information, and like I said, stuff is being added on a weekly basis. So it's worth a couple of pennies to join the Ugly Girls Club on Patreon and become a member and a subscriber to our official home, theuglygirlsclub.com. Right? And what else? We do group coaching on a weekly basis, private. So if you're ready to invest in that and you want almost sort of like a one-on-one, almost, but in a group setting, amongst other women who are not about no games and who support each other, then come on through and do that too. So I got you at every level. Make sure you get all the books that you see on the bottom of the screen. Go to ugctools.com and get every book that is in there to start your journey and read them. And then come back and ask questions and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. All right, y'all. So I'm out of here. Peace and love. Bye. Wait a minute, what? Will we get free counseling if we join Patreon? Absolutely not. There's no free counseling in anything that I do. If you want to sign up for group coaching, you can do that on the site. Where you want to actually talk to me, you can actually do that on the uglygirlsclub.com and sign up for group coaching there. If you want to get coached, and have some sort of one-on-one attention, you could do that. Patreon, you can come in there and ask questions. You could definitely message me privately and ask questions there. So I'm available there. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. I hope this was valuable to you. Think it through. Think it through. I know some of you are in tears right now, and that's okay too. We're going to make it. We're going to make it. Bye.